Hi there. Today I want to talk to you about the Enneagram and how it changed my life for life. I was fortunate enough in 2014 to be introduced to the Enneagram by my good friend and mentor, Katie Spade, who's a naturopath in the western suburbs of Adelaide. And little did I know then how much of an impact starting off learning about the Enneagram would change my life. So much so is that I use that in all my coaching sessions with my clients, and it's been an amazing self-discovery that I've had since I've become to learn more about it. I had done previous personality tests before, in particular Myers-Briggs, and I sort of got the essence of what my personality type was like. But what I would say was it was a little bit limiting in where to go to next. And this is where the Enneagram is so super powerful, in the fact that you actually, it gives you about 5 or 6 things that you can do to help grow within your personality type. With the idea being your highest best self, or being most true to yourself, to the world and to yourself. Once I basically did a bit of a test online and sort of got the results, and initially I came out as a different type to what I know now my type has been, and I definitely resonated with that, what it sort of talked about my personality type. And I was on a real journey of self-discovery, and then about 6 months later I redid the test, and sort of then realised that I was actually a different type. And then there was a big light bulb moment for me. You could almost call it a spotlight. Lights at the MCG shining upon my head, and I just got myself so much better in that moment when I read more about myself. So much so it had such a profound effect that I've now studied and researched the Enneagram for about the last 6 years, and as I said, I use it as a tool, to help people grow and learn about themselves, and empowering them to be the best that they can actually be. It's just such a beautiful system. For those that are into sort of numerically perfect type diagrams, it's certainly you will certainly love it. I think what also is great is that we have all the types on the Enneagram, and there are 9 types of personalities that the Enneagram breaks down into, and essentially we have every type within it. So all of the 9 types we have as part of our makeup. But there's one particular type which is more prevalent. So it drives us on how we think, how we act, and how we behave. Essentially, and this would have stemmed from childhood. Our parents would have had a big influence on the way in which we also come to certain beliefs and attitudes and behaviours. And essentially, the 9 types basically put you into a category, but what I want to be really clear on is that we can drift in and out of various types, etc. I'll talk a bit more about that shortly. But the key thing I think is that, or the power of it is that, so I know that when I am in stress, so when things in life's challenges get on top of me, I can sort of now recognise what that looks like, see what my default actions are to cope with those particular stresses, and I can catch myself and go, okay, I can see my behaviour is going a particular way. And what I've learned to be really true is that often what our default reaction to stress is, whatever we do, it needs to be the complete opposite. So for me, I go straight into workaholic, throw myself into work, distract myself from all the problems of the world, and focus my work and attention solely on a particular project, or checking emails, whatever it might be, a full-on workaholic. But the truth is that when I'm going into that stress, the very thing I should be doing is the complete opposite of that. So going for a walk, meditating, getting some fresh air, and since I've been practicing that, I've really found that I can really cope with stress far more better, because I actually know what to do when those reactions occur, because I know what they look like. I know what I naturally tend to do, and you would probably resonate with this. You know that under certain circumstances, you will behave a particular way to cope with the stress. So the Enneagram is amazing in the fact that it actually allows you to catch yourself in the act, so to speak, and that's what I really love about it. So that's regarding stress. When we're the other great thing is that when we are in growth, if you can identify what growth looks like for you, then that is really powerful too. Because knowing what our highest best self looks like is the greatest gift that anyone could give you or give yourself. So because you're being true and authentic to yourself, you are being true and authentic to others. We're not running around in fear of how people might judge us, and the other thing is too that when we're in our highest best self, we have more empathy to others as well. So when you get someone that just you can't get why they're acting the way they are, and the complaint in your head is you're judging and going, they're really quite rude or obnoxious and aggressive, but if you can learn to understand that, well, there's a bit of a reason for that, and it could be their underlying part of their personality type, then you can it takes the wind out of your complaint a little bit to go, I wonder, what's underneath there and why they react like that. And if you sort of know they're actually Enneagram type, then that explains a lot about particular people. So the type I'm talking about at the moment, they are in actual fact the people that would put me off the most. So, didn't like aggressive, short, what appears overconfident, overbearing type of personality. And then what I learned, and once I learned about the Enneagram type of that particular person, I went, okay, so I get why they are that. In some ways, they're compensating for certain aspects of their life, just like I do in my personality type, compensating for some insecurities or fears. So then I can be more empathetic towards that person. So now, even people will still rub you the wrong way, there's no doubt about that. But if you could sort of recognise it, and you can actually understand, where they're coming from, then it takes the wind out of your complaint, and you can really start getting people, and you actually connect to people on a far deeper level. So that's what I love about the Enneagram. It's just such a powerful tool. As I said, it recognises when you can sort of get an understanding of when you're in growth and what that looks like, and when you're in stress, it'll give you some strategies on how you do to cope with that. Now, I only come to learn this about 6 years ago, and not that I wish for much these days, because I think I'm pretty blessed, but I've now shared this with my family, with my 2 children. My 2 children are 2 very different types, and I got them to do the Enneagram when they're in their sort of late teens, early 20s. And as a parent, the way I interact with my kids now, and the most powerful relationship we have, is truly a testament to the Enneagram. I get them, I can communicate to them, I approach them each differently based on their personality type. I love them equally, However, I know that, when they're in stress, they're going to react a certain way, and when they're in growth, I know what that looks like as well. And that's just amazing as a parent to be able to really connect with your kids on a really deep level. They're able to share, quite deeply with me, which is amazing and awesome. But it's not limited to my kids. This is with my clients, my friends, my family. All I do is implore you to, it does take a little bit of time to understand. But once you understand the basics of the Enneagram, once you start doing a bit of work on your self-development, and it does take some work. Didn't happen overnight for me at all. But I knew there was going to be more to life. There was a way in which you could live an extraordinary life. And that's what my mission in life is to do, is to just be able to have an amazing life. So the Enneagram has certainly helped me living that right now. I feel so empowered. My relationships are all deeper, and I just connect with people so much better than I used to. I guess in summary, the Enneagram is a beautiful tool. Gives you a deeper understanding of yourself. If you're prepared to do a bit of work and a bit of practice with a few things of the strategies that it gives you some guidance on how you can improve within your personality type, I guarantee you will start to feel a change from inside out, big time. So all the very best. I really hope that you discover your type one day, and then you can sort of get a greater understanding of yourself. The only caveat I give is it's good to have someone that understands the Enneagram to explain it to you, to give you some context around it. We tend to look straight to the negatives of the Enneagram, and we forget about the positives as well. So it's good to have a balanced approach to when you're reading about the Enneagram, and understand that we're all a different level of health within our personality types, and it's just a starting point. So it doesn't matter where you are health-wise, within your personality type, is if you know where the start point is, then you can look to the way of going up and growing. So all the very best. I really implore you to have a good look at it. It changed my life, not just momentarily. It has changed my life to life, and it's a big part of the reason my business is named Change Your Life for Life, is based on the Enneagram and my experience and my personal growth and development over about the last 6 years. So all the very best, and if you ever want to look me up, or send me an email, greg@changeyourlifeforlife, that's all one word, .com.au. You can look me also up on Facebook, I'd love to hear from you. My website, changeyourlifeforlife.com.au as well, if you want to look at my story and a bit more about me as well. So I'll leave it at there, and I hope there's many more of these videos to come in the future. So have a great day. Cheers.